Hello, everyone. Tonight we're going to review one of my uh, most favorite sci-fi thrillers. The movie is called Minority Report, and it stars Tom Cruise and a few other people like the guy who plays the penguin, like Colin Farrell. Yeah, Colin Farrell is also in this movie, and this movie is about pre-crime, the concept of pre-crime, where in the future, specific to Washington D.C., if someone commits before someone commits a murder, the precogs from Minority Report, they will kind of have the intrinsic intuition to kind of predict the future on who's going to predict a murder, and they will show visions of their the future murder to the police. And these precon cops, precognition cops, and this team is headed by Tom Cruise, and this team is supposed to go and like stop these killers before they commit like a murder and whatnot. And the concept of like pre-crime or pre-crime is finding out like the killers before a crime is being committed. Then Coral Farrell comes in and like finds out all the people that are being arrested because of the crimes that they were going to commit, and he asks the fundamental question: if these people didn't commit any crime, why are we putting them in jail for something that they most likely would or would not have done? So this pre-crime is also categorized as profiling. So if someone is more likely to commit a crime, would that mean he will certainly commit a crime, and therefore would he need to go to jail for that reason? So this we have this thing in probability that like false positives, certain things as false positives, where like you can arrest a lot of bad people before they commit a crime, but like if you arrest like one or two good people, then how good of a system is it? Just for the sake of the greater good, you're sacrificing the lives of like very innocent people who have done nothing whatsoever, and their only crime is they might be future culpable of like I think the proper English term is thought crime. When you're thinking of commit a crime, like I want to beat up my boss, I want to kill my boss, I want to kill my wife, something like that, and that would lead them to being guilty of like conspiring to commit a crime. But like if someone has not committed a crime, I believe it will most certainly will not like lead them to commit a crime. But like throughout the movie, it is like it explores the idea of like if someone is probably going to commit person with 99% chance, will he do it or not? So and another like pre-crime like precognition vision armor emerges, in which Tom Cruise is seen as killing one person. So Tom Cruise kind of like escapes from the scene and he becomes a vigilante because the precogs predicted that he would in the future kill someone, and in this particular case, someone who murdered him might possibly have murdered his son or kidnapped his son in the future. So Tom Cruise then like he takes um, one of the girls who does all this like precog visions, and he takes them. She has the ability to see the future, and like because of that, like she takes Tom Cruise to different places and like tries to make them escape. But like when he finally goes down to the place where Tom Cruise is 100% certain that he would not commit a crime, he sees the picture of his like son, and he kind of like he all the rage comes here, boiling comes to the surface. But Tom Cruise is very certain that like this is not the right thing to do. So therefore he what he does is like he gives the famous police line of like, you have the right to remain silent, you have the right to an attorney, like anything you say can and will be used against you in court of law, and he does not commit a crime. But this person then says that the whole thing was set up and it was not in his intention to like escape, and it was his fully intention to create a fake scenario in which Tom Cruise murders him, and therefore his family will get like a lot of money and whatnot. So in that particular case, this person actually he pulls the trigger, and therefore like Tom Cruise is seen as the murderer and whatnot. So in that particular case, Tom Cruise is seen as the murderer. But like later on, like the one of the precogs the she kind of like finds she keeps showing visions of like one particular murder, and by the end of the movie it is found out that the person who created the precog division, he murdered like the mother of one of the precogs. One of the girls was able to see the future, so for the greater good of the countless amount of lives that it would save. But in it goes back to the fundamental question, where if he takes one life for the sake of saving thousands of lives, is he no different from the murderers that are committing these crimes? So finally, the villain, who was Tom Cruise's friend, finally, rather than like in the final vision shown by the precogs, it is shown like Tom Cruise getting killed by this person. But when the police arrive at the scene, he, rather than taking Tom Cruise's life, he ends up taking his own life, therefore proving the precogs wrong. And therefore, like a suicide is committed or not a murder, but like the vision showed like the future and whatnot. So it then goes to show that like if a person is willing to commit a crime but he sees the future in advance, he then has a choice of should he do a bad thing or should he not do a bad thing. And the person choosing to do a bad thing over like a and choosing to do a good thing or a bad thing is what makes a person human. And because of that reason, like all the suspects were, all the people that were captured like by the precogs for murder were like set on parole, and they were made to live their lives as they seem fit, and they were given the option of like whether to do the crime or not do the crime, and only they will be arrested only in the future if they ever do actually commit a crime that they were thought of doing, and not for any thought crimes, because as a human being you have the free will of choice, and the choice is what makes you a good or bad person rather than thinking or plotting a crime. So this is a very very good story. I saw it in my college days, and it is one of Tom Cruise's best movies. Like not as good as Top Gun, but certainly one of his damn good best movies that he's ever made. Thank you. Do watch this.